Welcome to Bearish. We're not financial professionals, and this is not financial investment advice. Enjoy the episode.
See, I learned a little bit today. So I wanted to write it down.
That's good.
Well, what'd you learn? Enlighten.
What did I learn today?
Yes.
Teach.
Well, actually, I learned because of what Logan said. He goes, "Aren't interest rates rising?" I was like, "No."
Stop.
But I was like, "Well, what's the difference?" So I looked at it. I mean, I knew the difference. I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys like me to explain?
I would love to hear, Jared.
All right, Logan, since you were confused, when you say interest rates, I think you were referring to the federal fund rate, and that is the rate at which banks lend money. Okay. That's at 0.25%, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Because Big Dick J. Powell said, "Fuck you, inflation. We're not
For now.
we're not raising the rates."
The inflation rates, correct?
No, interest rates to combat inflation.
Interest rates.
Yeah.
But aren't they, Jared,
Yeah.
just delaying the inevitable in some way?
Yeah. Yep, that's correct.
That's literally.
That's pretty much
We're
it.
down the road. Down the road, we're gonna be fucked.
Yeah, they're sacrificing the
Straight
future for the now.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
But it was almost inspiring because I watched Fed Chairman Jerome Powell look into the camera and say, "Suck my dick, inflation." I
said
watched
that?
him. He did that. He said that. That's what he said. He
That's
did.
sick.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Gee.
Right. So, and the market liked it. The market went up yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
Until today.
Right after
Today-
it slowed.
Right back down.
Today it spit it right back out.
Bro, it was a bloody day today. That was so
a
depressing.
bloodbath.
I woke up at like noon and looked at it, and I was like, "Yeah, damn."
Well, no, around noon
It was fine at
is
noon.
when that was like, it was all right. The Dow was okay. The NASDAQ was,
I was talking about Nasdaq.
well, okay. Well, let's talk about,
It's always been bad. the
yeah,
past
let's talk
2
about what
months.
happened. So the Federal Reserve met for 2 days, and the meeting ended yesterday, Wednesday, March 17th. Jerome Powell had a press conference, and he went over inflation and interest rates. And like I said, he told inflation to suck a fat one, and the
Right.
market liked that. Market went up. Pretty much he said the Fed will keep interest rates at near zero, which they're at 0.25%. He said the Fed will continue to buy $120 billion worth of bonds
What
per
is
month.
that? What does that do? I don't really understand what that
Yeah, I
actually
didn't
does.
get
It increases the money supply. So if I have
it's
like
basically
they'll
printing money.
literally buy from
It's
anyone.
equivalent to like printing money. Like
Well,
they're
they
just
have to-
putting more
no,
money
'cause-
into the market.
They have to print money in order to buy those bonds. So
So yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
So they're just
So
absolutely blowing inflation through the roof.
yes, but according to them, they're not, which I don't understand how. But
I don't really get how that works because I thought as soon as you print the money that your dollar is worth less. So
Yeah.
how are they like, yeah,
well,
inflation's
no,
doing all right?
it takes time. It takes time because if
That's
people
what I don't
aren't
get.
if people aren't spending the money, then it's not really doing anything. That's why they think once the economy reopens, then inflation will hit pretty hard.
Because that money's gonna start circulating again.
Exactly, and then businesses will start to raise prices.
I don't
blah,
really
blah,
get that
blah.
because technically it's already inflating once you, like as soon as you print it, like because there is more money. Period.
Yeah, but if you don't do anything,
But I guess
with
it's not
the
being
money,
spent, so then it doesn't really
Exactly.
hit the market like it's
Exactly.
like affecting it.
Yeah. So what happens is when they print the money, well, like I said, they buy the bonds. So they buy the bonds from actual people, and they want that to increase the money supply. Because what those people do with those bonds, when they sell them, is they get the money, and then they deposit that money into bank accounts, right? And then the bank accounts, the Fed likes to cap like a reserve. They don't like to say it, but there's a reserve that the Fed want the banks to have. And when the reserves get too big, the banks then create like more checking accounts and they want to lend to more people.
Right.
So then that gets more money out there into the economy and all that fun stuff.
So you said the other day like inflation's at like 3%, right?
No, inflation right now is at 1.7%. There's some economists who believe it could hit 2.8 to 3%, but
Wait,
Mr.
it's at
Powell-
1.7 right now.
yeah.
So now it's equivalent to that 10-year treasury.
Yeah, but
Bill.
it's not going to be. Like
What do you
it's
mean?
go because it's gonna rise.
Right, it's going to rise, but like right now technically you'd be at this moment you'd be making net gain of 0 buying those
Taxes.
things. Okay, so then you're still at a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, still negative.
That just seems stupid
Mhm.
because those things are that thing's shooting up like crazy.
Yeah,
And
it went
it
yesterday.
went to 1.7
ended-
today.
Yeah, on Wednesday it ended like 1.6, and then overnight I woke up. I went to sleep. Dow futures were up, or not the Dow. Pretty much all the futures were up, and I was
It
like,
was
"All
a
right,
big
cool.
day yesterday.
We're gonna have a good day. Fine."
There was no reason for it to be down. With
And
what-
then I woke up to a headline: bond yield, 10-year bond yield reaches 14-month high. I was like, "Oh."
so
how'd
that basically
work?
just works on demand, right? People wanting it, seeing more value in it, and buying it up.
bond investors, they didn't really, pretty much they're saying they didn't believe Powell because they think inflation's going to be worse than what he's saying. So to combat inflation, they think that in order to what do I want to say? In order for the economy not to overheat, the Fed is going to have to raise interest rates.
Right, so
think
less
of-
people are borrowing.
Exactly. There's less money going around, less supply, less people are borrowing, less spending, all that fun stuff.
I guess I don't understand the concept of overheating. Like, why would a lot of money in circulation be a bad thing? Because inflation would then rise.
Yeah,
quick.
think about it like a car. If you are like going 120 miles an hour in a car like all the fucking time, it's not going to be good for the engine. Like it's just gonna like you're pushing it to its limit.
Oh, I
Think
see what
about
you're saying.
because all the money, all of this money is being lent at almost no interest rate. People keep spending and spending and spending
Right.
and spending. Prices are going to keep rising and rising and rising. It's going to be a big fucking mess.
It's just gonna screw the economy. Once
Yeah.
it does hit, it's gonna be a storm.
He said
Nah.
they will not hike rates. They will not raise rates until 2023.
Jeez.
Just
We've been saying that though. I
think
mean, at
that's
least
a lie,
he's
though?
been.
can he lie? Like it doesn't really sound like believable.
Is
I don't
he
know.
under oath?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
like-
what.
Fuck you,
What were we
young bear.
talking about? I forget.
Max didn't understand a concept about the
interest
car
rates.
overheating.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Do you
no.
understand that now, Max?
Yeah, now it'll just drive up inflation, and
Yeah, it'll.
you can't drive at 120 all the time. You know,
No, you can't.
you just can't. It's
Yeah,
not good
it's
for
not
the
good
car.
for the engine. Switching back to this, I guess bond investors pretty much believe that he's gonna have to raise interest rates. Like they just don't believe him, I guess.
I'm sorry, this blew my mind about the Italy stuff.
Okay, let's
You can
switch over. Cause
Break it
German-
down for us, Max.
German-
What's going on in Italy, bro?
Germany, Italy enter third wave. I didn't even know there's a third wave. I didn't even know there's a second. I mean,
That was winter.
didn't- I
The first
didn't.
wave was during the summer, and then the second wave was during the winter, and now we have the third wave in the spring.
it says on March 9th. 2020. Okay, that was last year.
Beginning spring last year.
See what Rome looks like as Italy enters third day lockdown. That came out. That was 2 days ago.
Yep.
Italy imposes lockdown three days ago.
Jeez.
And I guess is Italy in lockdown? Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna just look up countries in lockdown. Well, if it was 3 days ago,
Well, I mean, we're getting the vaccine, so it's not really
that's what I'm
affecting
saying.
us that
We're
they're
not
in
getting the
lockdown.
Aztecian vaccine, so why can't they get Johnson and Johnson and everything?
It's called AstraZeneca.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Well, yeah, we're getting the Johnson,
Oh, look at this.
Johnson, Moderna.
Pandemic lockdown improve air quality in 84% of the countries.
Yeah,
Awesome.
good.
Love that.
Right back to where we started. When I was flying over Atlanta, by the way, I could literally see the smog. Like,
Yeah,
I can
Atlanta's
see the
known
pollu-
for it. It's
it
bad.
was disgusting.
Bro,
it's bad.
tell me why I always think about when like I'm walking or like playing there, like I'm breathing it in. I'm like,
You are.
I'm probably slowly killing myself.
Do you remember
But
when we
that's-
were on a run, Max? We were running through Atlanta, and I was like, I feel like I'm breathing in car exhaust.
Yeah, wait till you go under Homeless Bridge, and then all of a sudden you're breathing in like, dude, like Homeless Bridge is another smell that I've never smelled in my whole entire life. Like, it's not
For
even
all of
like,
you
I don't even know how to
watching,
explain it.
Homeless Bridge is a bridge with a lot of homeless people living under it.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks for the context, man.
Sorry, I didn't. I thought,
Thanks for clarifying. I
We
didn't-
couldn't use any context.
It's very
clues from
smelly.
from that name.
it's just like I don't even know how to describe it, bro. It's just, oh god. All right, which countries are in lockdown? COVID-19 lockdowns. How are you? Blah, 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 blah.
It's mostly your.
That's 2020, 2021. New lockdown. It looks like Germany. Who did he say? Italy? This
Paris,
is Germany.
France.
My goodness. The world is going very bad.
Hmm.
Lockdowns
You know
is in like they're not leaving their house.
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave unless
I-
it's essential.
Mike, do you know why they're only doing the AstraZeneca vaccine? Like,
Schools
why
are
aren't
open.
they getting the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer?
Because
Yeah, that's
all
what I'm saying.
those vaccines are from the United States, and we bought a lot of them already. And the AstraZeneca's
Very
vaccine is from Europe. I think it was in
Gotcha.
partnership with Oxford, where they partnered with another company, and there might have been two vaccines. Let me double check. There might have been two vaccines
Oh,
from
I
Europe.
don't think it's countrywide.
Can't even spell it. My goodness. Okay.
I don't know if the
It says-
Paris one is because he kept mentioning he kept saying Paris instead of France. He just kept saying
Yeah,
Paris.
this says
is
new
a
lockdown on the Riviera and the North Coast.
Hmm.
Schools are open. Shops, businesses are shut.
Yeah, so there's one vaccine
Germany
that I know of.
gradual
It's
reopen.
AstraZeneca was made in partnership with Oxford, and that's one of the vaccines that are there. I don't know if there might be a second one because I remember there was another company called BioNTech, but I don't remember if that was an American company or if that was also a European company.
Belgium, all of Europe is locked down.
Let me see
Spain,
BioNTech.
Belgium, Portugal.
Are you
Oh
serious?
no!
Oh, BioNTech, that's the Pfizer vaccine. So that's my
Denmark?
mistake. There seems to be only one like European vaccine, and that's the AstraZeneca Oxford one. And that's the one that they're saying has been having issues. They think some of the countries have been recalling them and stopped using them to vaccine people.
Huh. Why did I not hear about this?
Right?
All I heard
Anywhere.
about was Jay Powell telling inflation to suck one.
Looking at the wrong news.
Then I don't think this is as big of news as.
Nah.
I don't think that's
Not
what caused
financial
the market
news.
to drop. That would have
No,
already
I
happened. Like
don't
you
think
said,
it's
Max,
as
it was
big-
3
as
days
big
ago.
news as we think.
Exactly. It was 3 days ago, and market was doing fantastic 3 days ago.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that's not. I was about to say, damn it! Like
No. And that wouldn't have
That's
really
really
affected
big.
us. I mean, I guess
That
it
is true.
could
It's-
have.
it's
It
different
could've
market. I mean, they're all
been-
correlated, but it is a different
Yeah.
market.
It could
in the
have,
grand
but
scheme of things.
it wouldn't have crashed our market. I
mean,
think.
consider that
Unless people
there's
got
still
worried.
domestic travel in the United States, so don't worry too much about the airlines not being able to make money.
Right.
Does Southwest go overseas?
Yes, I think
You
so.
should have looked that up, Max. Considering you
should've.
invested
I
in it.
really
The only ones I
should've.
know that go overseas are like
Maniac.
Delta and American, and then the
That's what
other
I'm
ones
saying.
I
I
don't
don't-
know
I
about
don't-
that one.
Possibly, but I don't think it's. I think it's more domestic though.
It is.
I
It's
think-
probably more focused on domestic travel than.
That's why I didn't question
international.
it until like just now. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does Southwest fly international?
sure
Southwest
they
serves
do.
14 international destinations in
Mm-hmm.
10 countries outside of America.
Yeah, but they're probably all like South American though, or like Canada type stuff.
That's
like-
so few
South
compared to the
American
other airlines.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really think that's even a problem.
Yeah.
It's majority domestic, so I'm not worried about that. And America's not going into it actually. No, I don't know. I don't think they're going into another
No,
lockdown.
we won't.
I think
We
we're
have
over
too many-
that.
We have
And
too
even if
many
it is, people are gonna be like,
vaccinated.
"I'm not feeling it."
We're
Yeah?
actually Ohioans are allowed to get the vaccine at the end of March. All of them, everyone above the age
Whoa.
of 16.
Whoa.
I think
Shoot
for Georgia
me
State, they
up.
started saying like we should try to go and get it,
Yeah.
like through the school.
You be surprised I've heard stories that they don't really check.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people saying like, "Oh, my primary caretaker is like an elderly, like my grandmother," and so like they're like, "Oh, you should get it," and like they're lying on
They're
things.
probably more
it.
concerned, and the reasoning behind that is they're probably more concerned with just getting the shots in people's arms versus
that's
policing who is going to get them so strictly, because you'd otherwise just be wasting time that you could spend actually getting people vaccinated, which is probably why they're not checking as.
There's people genuinely against it, which kind of interests me. Like actually are like
sadly, I
full-blown.
think a portion of that is political, but also it's because not mainly, but a portion of that is because they develop the vaccine so quickly when usually it takes years upon years to make one.
Right. I had an Uber driver the other day who was on like some kind of conspiracy type shit, like talking about like.
I mean, I don't think Moderna wants to turn us into fucking aliens or anything like that.
Well, he was talking about like maybe 10 years down the line, like, surprise, I'm infertile because of this shot. Like he was just going off on about like random stuff that happened down the line. I mean, like I was like, I don't know, who knows.
Like I said, sadly,
I
think a majority of that is political, and
I have heard that too. A lot of the stuff on the news are like Republicans are saying this, and they're like, Trump should have come out and tell people to get it. I think Trump got it. It's kind of ironic in my eyes. I don't know if that's just me. I think that's just kind of ironic.
It's also funny.
He's like a million years old. Of course he got it.
I know, but I'm saying like he was the one leading like.
Oh yeah.
Screw the COVID shit,
These drug companies are amazing in what they do. So I think they worked as hard as they could, as fast as they could.
Right.
And I think we should be praising them for that instead
impressive.
of saying.
I don't know. What blows my mind as I always think about it is the amount of money that was made like throughout the whole COVID crisis. Like we all us retailers and the kind of middle class type people are always like, oh God, these were hard times, which they were. Like, oh, we lost a lot of money. But think about the people. Think about the mass companies, the vaccine companies, the people that you know what I'm saying? Like, think about our COVID testing, right? And just on our soccer team, there's say like 20, there's like 30 of us that get tested, right? And during season, we would get tested 3 times a week. Those tests cost $100 each.
Oh my goodness.
So you're telling me in a week we're spending how much money, then multiply that by all the teams at Georgia State, and then multiply that by every single team in the nation.
You're probably spending...
Like, think about the amount of money that is being raked in and just different aspects of this COVID crisis.
You're probably spending more money than your team or any other team of that, for that matter, actually make.
We don't even sell tickets to the game.
See,
it's free.
There you go. Like it's almost like you're operating at a loss just to keep the games going.
No, it's actually mind-blowing the amount of money that has just been poof. All of a sudden, this university has it.
And that's all over, though. Like, people were getting... It's almost like... You remember the big market crash of 2008 where people were getting money to give these absolutely terrible mortgages out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like people are getting money to diagnose a patient with COVID. Buddy will come in the hospital and be like, yeah, I don't feel good. And they're like, COVID... Write him up. And then the government's like, send him money. Send him the money.
Yeah, or Joe Rogan talked about... Elon talked about it in Joe Rogan's podcast about how hospitals would get monetary incentives for, marking it as a COVID case. It is mind-blowing the amount of money that has been raked in. Just
ridiculous.
From, random places. Like the middle class, the poor have gotten screwed, but a lot of richer people who knew where to put the money or had the money to buy things, like when things were cheap. Like, you are in such a better place right now than ever before.
Think about the drug companies. Think about how much money Moderna made off their vaccine.
That's what
Pfizer,
I'm saying.
Johnson & Johnson, all of them. Because the U.S. bought millions, hundreds of millions of doses.
Think about it. This is the only product in the world that literally, at one point, like, most everybody will actually need. There's going to be, like, I wouldn't even be surprised if people started saying, like, oh, like, you know how if to go to school we have to have certain vaccinations? It's going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, if you want to enroll your kid in school, you have to have the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're talking 7 billion on this earth need this one product. There's no way around it. Not only do you need one, you need 2 doses. Like it is insane, bro.
Yeah.
So
it is.
much money just being generated from this thing. Mass companies, and then you have freaking foo-foo weird ones on Amazon that are all stylish and pretty, and then everybody does that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, jeez, like masks have been like a trend now. Like it's like a style.
It was a very eloquent
It's
use
just-
of the word foo-foo. I really admire that, Max.
I mean,
Was.
some
Cheers, Max.
some foo-foo lame shit mask. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's like one that's all pretty. Oh, I'm being serious. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was my 2 cents in that one. It's just kind of. I sat back the other day. I was like,
Did you guys
damn.
hear about India and crypto?
yeah, they're trying to
No.
ban Bitcoin.
India is banning cryptocurrency.
Oh,
Wait,
Wait,
not just
trying to
Bitcoin.
or completed?
No, they're doing it. They're doing it.
Is there a reason? Or did they just say,
I-
no,
Let's see. I have the article
today.
pulled up.
no,
or maybe you're
not on my
right.
watch.
Mike, maybe they haven't banned it yet, but it says India will propose a law banning cryptocurrencies, fining anyone trading in the country or even holding such digital assets, a senior government official says.
Did they?
potential
Why?
blow-
Yeah, I was gonna say.
In a
did-
potential blow to millions of investors piling into these red hot
yeah,
assets.
did they say anything about
Hmm.
why they're not doing it, or why they want to ban it?
What happened
Usually
to Bitcoin's
the-
price after that?
I don't know. I'm reading it right now, and all it's saying is, they're going to make it
57.
like a criminal offense to hold, trade.
No
You know,
fucking
buy.
way.
Swear to God. Swear to God. Look, the bill, one of the world's strictest
that happen?
policies against cryptocurrencies, would criminalize possession, issuance, mining, trading, and transferring crypto assets.
What that
That's
sounds
a
like
joke.
is some kind of like insider, like India has a whole government, duh. But like those guys are educated enough to know that it's gonna be like a thing of the future. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like some kind of insider type thing to be like, okay, let's settle things down and maybe even invest into it. Or some, you know what I'm trying to say, like behind
Well,
the
it would-
scenes type stuff, because they're not stupid. They're not just
They're
Like
they're
get to
like, oh,
price
we'll-
lower and then buy in on
yeah,
it.
some kind of manipulation, like behind the scenes, but with results years out.
Let's see.
You know?
Before we
Why do you
jump
ban
to
anything,
conclusion, let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't really make. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no logical reason behind it when you got countries in the cities in the U.S. saying like, we're trying to make this our number. Like, we're trying to be able to buy things at the store with this, or make this be like
yeah.
the monetary value like of the
It's
city.
so
you
weird
know?
because usually like the first thing I thought of was drugs. Like people ban drugs because they know it's bad for people and they know that they don't want it to be in people's hands or else there's going to be negative consequences. At least that's the high level thought. There's a lot of problems that come along with it. But the same sort of high level thought process, like, is crypto bad for India in any way that might cause the legislatures
Well,
to
that's what I was thinking to myself, because you could, issue a capital gains tax and you'd make so much money on the trading of crypto.
yeah, so they
Well, I'm
could
thinking about like the dollar value itself, like the Indian dollar, whatever it is. Like maybe
The
it
rupee?
decreased the
Rupees.
value of that. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, you know
Maybe.
what? Ban crypto. That's what I mean by some kind of government. Like they know that it's gonna force something down,
Mhm.
so they halt it for a little bit to buy some time before they can make the move. And be like, okay, you could use crypto
Well,
in our country.
this is 4 days ago. So it says in 2018, the Reserve Bank of India advised against trading cryptocurrencies, citing the risk of increasing cyber fraud.
Oh, cyber fraud. So that's their
Yeah.
How is there
That's the whole thing of crypto. It's secure.
No,
Bitcoin, at
hell
least.
no.
Bitcoin,
No,
yes.
people can steal your Bitcoin. Big
If-
time.
If you lose your password, yeah, then that's your
Oh,
fault.
like
Say
a
if they had
whole
some
ass heist.
supercomputer.
Like, it's not
Don't you need some
like
kind
I've
of
heard stories. I've heard stories of it. I'm not gonna act like I know everything about it, but
right?
via impulsive.
I could
Impulse
see
podcast.
it, but I would say that you need some kind of really high level computer to do so. You're
Yeah,
not just
you gotta be smart.
cracking codes
Or coding in some
of
way. I don't know.
Bitcoin.
I mean, your wallet is
Willy-nilly.
encrypted, so unless you had a supercomputer that could crack your encryption,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
trying-
I'm sure it can be hacked because it all is on the computer.
Yeah, it's
But the amount of computing power that you need would be like the everyday person wouldn't be able to do it.
yeah.
They probably like
banded
stored
together.
their password in a Google document,
Probably.
like, online.
They deserved it.
I mean, yeah, right. Then at that point, I don't even feel bad.
Not at all, bro.
Alright,
How
look,
are you still in ETC? And riding it out?
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't sell, you don't.
That's
lose.
the kind of asset you
Exactly.
just have to leave it alone and don't look at it, and then
That is
For eternity.
5 years or 10 years,
literally forever.
it'll be fine.
For eternity.
What about Doge? Remember we were all in on Doge?
I bought back into it,
Yeah.
just $100.
Of course you did, Mike. Of course you
I
fucking
just put like $100 into it, just
I respect it.
some leftover.
We all have our tendencies, going back to Doge or GameStop or, you know what I'm saying? Just creep back in.
You want to know what I want to get into? Because we didn't do a very good job at explaining last episode. Like, we explained it, but we didn't do a good job at explaining why they would affect stocks, why inflation affects stocks. Like, we didn't do a very good job at that.
Well,
Yes.
the
I personally
value
don't
of
know
the
why it infects stocks.
the value of the dollar.
know?
Let me take a stab.
I don't know.
Can I take a stab?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a
go.
stab
I have it written
afterwards,
down
too.
right there. So.
So if the market or the economy experiences inflation, the value of the dollar goes down, right? So if
Right.
the value of the dollar goes down, doesn't the value of the stocks themselves technically go down because they're based on the dollar? So they lose their value because the dollar loses its value? Or is there more to
you're
it?
you're not wrong.
But there's more to
Yeah,
it.
I would
you're
actually say
kind
that's
You're
correct.
kind of right. You're kind
What
of right.
about it's the market itself gets inflated because so many people are pouring into it? Is it something along the lines of that?
No,
values
it's more
get
so what Mike
overvalued?
said. It's more so what Mike said. Mike, you're not. I would say you're like 99% right, but you're just missing the fact that when people invest, they look at the future earnings of the company and discount it back. So if inflation's heavy, the future earnings will be worth less. Therefore, they want to pay less for the stock because technically that's worth less. So you were kind of right. You're kind of correct.
And because is that why people get into
Pretty much.
bonds? Because it's a sure bet of what they're gonna make versus
Inflation.
like at that. Yeah, versus like at that point, like a bond could be worth or return higher, have higher returns than equity at that point.
No,
Well, Jared, why don't you explain
Well,
the
fuck
how bonds used to beat
it
inflation?
made sense to me.
How they were used in the past when they were super high to beat inflation.
Well, the only reason a bond itself, like if you don't raise interest rates, I'm almost positive. I don't want to say I am positive. I'm pretty sure a bond, the value of it deteriorates very quickly. But in the 1980s, inflation was huge, massive. So in order to combat that, like I said earlier, what Jay Powell said, fuck you to, whoever, I don't know who was the treasury in the 80s, the chairman or whatever, they raised interest rates, which raised the bonds in order to combat inflation. And that's why the bond rates were so high in the 80s. They were like 10, 15%.
Wow.
Something massive. Like, imagine if it won't happen again. I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Never say
Yields
never.
at 10%.
Never say never.
No, I don't think it will.
So,
But
what is a 10-year yield? Is that like it grows by that, like, say, or
In 10 years, it'll grow by
like,
that much percent.
no, you'll
So-
get paid. You'll get
that
paid
much
that much back on your initial payment.
after 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how much.
So if inflation is like 2% every year for 10 years, isn't that going to be way higher than any kind of return you could ever make on a 10-year? Do you see what I mean?
Because you get paid. It depends on how it's paid out. They can
Okay.
get paid out yearly or every 6 months, stuff like that.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Because, like, if the return on it is, say, 6%, but inflation is growing at 1.75, I think you said right now, per year. After, like, 10 years, when that...
inflation is 1.7, the yield of the 10 year is 1.7. Also,
Right. Let's just pretend, like, the
canceling.
yield on the 10-year was, like,
They're canceling each
6%,
other
right?
out.
Just, like, pretend it was 6% right now. And that inflation was, like, 1.7. Wouldn't if it was going up by 1.7 every year for 10 years, it would like overtake any gains you would have made by doing the 10-year?
No, because it'd be paid. It would just be paid out. Like it's just. I guess it just depends on how it's paid out. It wouldn't.
Gotcha.
I don't think it works like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if you were paid,
Tell me
let's
if
say a
I'm-
lump sum at the very end, yeah. But
maybe.
as you're getting paid, your percentage is increasing, of course. So you're losing money every year, but you're still making that money, right? Versus losing all of it at one lump sum payment after 10 years versus like you're sort of scraping as much as possible every year. Like a lesser and lesser amount,
I
but
see.
cumulatively it's more than what you would get if you just did a lump sum at the very end.
Right.
Yeah, I want to get this clear. People aren't buying bonds right now.
Yeah.
They're selling
They're
them.
worthless.
Yeah.
And that's what's driving the yields to go up because they think in the future the new bonds will be way higher than what they are right now because of inflation. And they just think Powell's going to have to raise interest rates.
Well, at one point, yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah. So they're just because price and yield moves inversely. So if I bought a 10-year, the one right now, the 10-year yield at 1.7% for $100, let's say, and then it goes up to 1.8%, I want to sell mine, but I would have to lower my price for someone to buy it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For
Oh
it to,
yeah,
like,
no,
cancel
I see what you're
out?
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like stocks. For you to get a higher rate of return, you have to buy lower.
Okay.
And sell higher.
Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of the same.
Or
way.
if you're on Wall Street bets, you buy high and you sell lower.
God, man, I'm hoping they pump eBay. Dude. Imagine, oh my God, imagine they pump eBay to 100.
What's it at right now?
So much money. eBay hit. Well, this is what pissed me off about today. Everything was going according to plan. The cyclicals were doing well, right? I was like, all right, perfect. I even put it in the Discord. I was like, guys, make sure to take precaution with these tech stocks, man.
Yeah.
You know, get into these cyclical stocks. An hour later, I see the Dow's down 100 some points. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm in Morgan Stanley, a bank, and eBay. eBay went all the way up. It started the day at like 58, went up to 60, ended the day 58 something. Morgan Stanley started at like 84, went up to like 86, ended the day at 84. So it was just an annoying day. Yeah,
So
Mike,
you ended
how was
flat,
your-
basically. Like
yeah,
even.
but at one point I was up like, because I'm trading options because I don't want to own shares right now. At one point I was up like $200.
Ooh.
Max, why is Max on mute?
His mother was in the back.
Oh, hi, Miss Dawn.
Sorry.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, she's just like, I was like, I'm recording. She was like, cool. And just starts like walking around and talking to me. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put this on mute for a while. She's like, awesome. Now let me talk. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just mute it. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I did want to talk about that. Everyone kind of, I've been MIA for like 5 minutes. Everyone has kind of, at least I have, transitioned out of the railage of tech. Complete bonage that was going on that I just held on for dear life. And you know what? I said, I'm going to make a smart investing decision and never look at these again, at least for the next like couple months.
One bank
never.
said, I think it was Morgan Stanley. I think they said that this whole value, the getting into value play, has like 20% upside. So why
Over how
not get
long?
into it?
That's the question.
I don't know.
Well,
read the
that's
article.
actually a
Just
big
saw.
deal, though.
40
That's why
years.
people.
It's big. 20% upside. Just think about it.
Yeah, but think about a
These-
20% upside over 10 years.
And we're back to episode 3.
I know, but I'm saying like the
Well,
annual like average
if it
return
was
is
a-
7 is what
If
I'm
it was
saying.
a 20% upside compounded rate of return, you'd be a very wealthy man.
Right, but I'm saying like we're not going down this again. The annual
I'm just saying,
is 7%.
Max's goal is to make money quickly. Jared's goal is to make money over
Oh no, it's
time.
not that. I'm just saying like I know why people are not doing it. Is what I'm saying. Like it's understandable why people are not doing it. I just don't get how like
This happens every
I'm not
time.
saying-
Explain yourself. I don't really understand.
I'm not saying either side is right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, I understand it, and you're like, nope, that's pretty dumb. But, like, for some people, it's just, like, it's not.
It's 20% upside. What would you? It's money.
I know. Yeah. Right. I agree. It's like short money. Right. I agree. I'm not saying that. So I'm not saying no. But I'm saying other people say
something like getting only 20% on your initial investment after 10 years when the
people are like,
annual return is 7%
you just put
a year.
I mean, you're the one that put the duration on. I don't know.
I know. He was saying if it was something like that. He was saying that's why time mattered.
Because I said over how long? You're like, I don't know. And I was like, well, that's a big deal. Because what if it's 20% over, 20 years?
I'm pretty sure it's fairly, like,
that's a different story.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like a year or two, something like that.
Anyway, I've gotten out of tech because it's actually the only thing I'm in is Excel, which I'm actually going to get out of as well because that's just not looking good. And
Logan,
it
what are
expires
you
in
in?
April.
Same. Riding it out
Holding
till
on
I'm 100.
for dear life.
Are you buying more?
I will, yeah. Neo just continues to drop.
I wanted to talk about Neo.
Yeah.
You know what terrifies me about Chinese companies?
What?
That government can do whatever they want.
And how did you learn about this?
Did we talk about this in the last podcast?
I think so.
About Jack Ma and all that stuff?
What happened, Jared?
I mean, they're just destroying Alibaba.
Yeah, Alibaba, the dude said some things against the Chinese government, kind of like reprimanding them, being like, I don't like the way they do this, I don't agree with this. And they've done it before to other huge, business owners, but he like basically went MIA for a month or two, I believe.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, and their stock dropped down. Yeah, and then he came out saying like he was sorry about his statements, and then they were like, oh, he's back, and then he just kind of came out of nowhere.
How crazy is that? That's sketchy.
I don't like that, but I think that's what Jared's saying is like if they really wanted to, the Chinese government could be like, you're in prison now. I don't like you.
Like that anymore.
You have I'm just gonna stay away. Like Neo could be a very good company, but I'd rather just General Motors or even Volkswagen.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, fine.
He wasn't even in it. He said, no, you go ahead.
Go ahead. Did you send an article saying, wasn't GM and Volkswagen, I swear it was you. You sent an article saying that they're supposed to be the newest EV leader in the future, like by a large shot. They're supposed to be. I think it was Volkswagen.
I don't know if it was by a large margin, but just think. I mean, it's just purely just think about their size. Like GM has Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC. Volkswagen has Volkswagen, obviously. They have Bugatti, they have Porsche, they have Audi, they have Lamborghini. They have all those companies, and Tesla is Tesla. And I'm not shitting on Tesla. I love Tesla, but like these companies have so much size. And they have a lot of
market share.
Yeah, they have a lot. Well,
they have a lot of foundations already laid out, is what it sounds
and
like.
they have a lot of loyal customers, if you will.
Yeah. Right, and GM came out. And, that's what I was gonna say. They came out and said the other day that they're gonna have like 23 EV cars within the next like 3 years.
Yeah,
Jeez.
They're converting
something ridiculous,
They're every
like
car, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, every car company is going to convert their entire fleet to electric.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna happen. And Tesla is. I just I just think they're trading at what they probably would be in 5-10 years right now. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah, with gas prices and oil and it's just bound to make the conversion because they're rising, the fossil fuels and all that. I mean, eventually they're going to run out. So it's something inevitable.
And the government will just make it that these companies are going to have to.
I thought California already did that, by this date.
I think it's by 2035 California will not sell any more gas-powered automobiles.
Yeah.
2035?
Something like
that seems way too late.
I know there are states that are saying you have to do this at by this time it's going to be only EV.
I feel like they should do it by 2030 or sooner.
Yeah, but you have to
tomorrow.
But then a big problem with these electric companies is the batteries. So you have to give them time to know how to manufacture these things and all that stuff, and just completely convert their entire, like, think about how much money that costs. Think about all the cars they're already making, and they
right,
just
like the
can't
newest
stop
models.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take time, but at least it's like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and
I've heard like
they have to plan ahead like a couple years, so it makes sense that
Right.
their timeline is super stretched. But I'm just saying for logistical purposes. I mean, I did a project on this in one of my classes, and we don't really have that much time to get everyone off of gasoline. So
I have heard that too.
fuels.
Like the timeline is running out. Like it's almost going to be like irreversible at a certain time. Yeah. But like,
and that's why Tesla's main dog, because they're already all electric, so they have such a, like, right now, that that's they became publicly traded in 2010, so that's a 25-year head start.
The only problem is their pricing. If they could just make a car that was super affordable, and they had the funds and the ability, like the scale to do that, they would be like the iPhone of cars, literally. And then we'd probably accelerate this process a lot more, because they would just get so much demand. But it is so hard, according to Elon and everyone else who makes cars. It is so hard to make cars fast and to build a lot of them. So it makes sense.
I believe there's also like an aspect of almost being too early in the EV game. Like, you notice that like every company in the past couple of months has been saying like, oh, now we have an EV car. You think everyone just kind of figured it out at the same time? Like, no, they've been sitting on this technology for a while now. And I feel like the first person to do it, if you were to do it too early, there'd almost be like not enough infrastructure, like charging stations, to really make your EV affordable and worthwhile. You know what I'm saying?
Infrastructure is
like,
a huge problem.
As things start transitioning, people are like, oh, now we have an EV car. And they're like, oh, we have an EV car
Well,
too.
some,
It's like,
to be fair, some have, like, Chevys come out with their Volt. Nissan has but I see what you're saying, Max. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't want to jump the gun because they'd be wasting so much money. Like, it'd be basically, you wouldn't be making profit, you know?
Cost is also a huge thing as well. Like, if you think back 20 years looking at computers, they were extremely expensive and 1/1,000,000th the power that we have today. They were more expensive, and I have more power on my phone than they ever had. And I think cars are that way as well. As soon as we get to a point where technology, we can make it fast and make it cheaply. Because think about it, Tesla, their cheapest model is $35,000, which to some people may not be a lot, but to a lot of people, that's a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, as soon as we get to where it's like a Honda Civic EV,
which would, like, honestly sound
them up. Do you know what I mean?
That's like the perfect car.
Like even Toyota's ugliest car in the world. What is it? A Prius?
Yes.
Hey, don't hate on that.
Hey, they say if you stick your hand out the window, it'll turn.
Yeah, that thing is freaking
right.
lame, bro.
But my point is, I'm pretty sure it's over $30,000 brand new. That thing.
What, a Prius?
I'm almost positive,
that
bro.
Thing is like
Max, the gas mileage is like
box.
50 miles per
That's
gallon.
really good.
It is true.
Wow.
It is unreal, bro. I remember driving that thing, and we were on 1 mile for like literally like way more than 1 mile.
I'm pretty sure I was on my phone looking at the gas station, and it was like 5 miles, and the Prius was like going down by like just a little bit faster,
bro.
And we were like, we're not gonna make it.
Basically, just rolled into the gas station.
It's $24,000. I just looked at Toyota's website.
Hopefully the
it's 24,000.
24 is not bad.
What's a new Honda Civic?
21.
20. Yeah,
oh,
20,
wow.
21.
Those things are cheap.
Hopefully, once more competition comes in the mix, the prices will come down. That'd be nice. They'd have to make everyone be able to afford them. Let's talk about some value stocks, guys.
Oh yeah.
You're really big on like the cyclical ones.
Correct. They do better when the economy does better.
I said it right.
I hate that word, dude.
earlier.
Can't even say it.
Well, it's cyclical.
Cyclical.
Sick,
Silicon.
like
Silicon.
you're sick.
Cylindrical.
disease. Sick, lickle.
It's cylindrical. Lickle?
Sick, lickle.
Okay.
Who am I licking?
Lick who?
I'm licking.
Lickle, look her, look who.
Who is sick?
Lick all?
Lick all of them.
Okay. If you want me to, I will.
Yeah, so you got the
Lick them all.
like I said, banks, energy, automobiles, restaurants, airlines.
Which I have made the transition to. I'm balls deep in some
LEV,
Southwest and some Morgan Stanley. So let's ride the wave, baby.
Oh, you did buy Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, I did.
Great.
95.
Big Stan.
Big
Stanley.
Stan. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of simple when you think about it. People couldn't travel last year, so they're gonna want to fly.
This is why I'm big on I'm bigger on Southwest than I am on Morgan Stanley. But you look at where, like, we're all comparing prices to where they were pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But let's face it, I don't think will be the
that's over.
same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like we've been saying it for a while. Like, normal, our new normal is not going to be like what it was.
Right.
And I believe that travel is going to have an astounding boom. Like, people are not going to care, and people are just going to be flying wherever they want to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to reach levels that we haven't seen for a long time because people are they're getting sick of being at home.
Bro,
That's what it is.
Just you can see it now. Look at the tickets for airlines in the summer right now. Like,
Bro,
I
round trip
flew-
Atlanta to LAX was like $50.
Spirit
When?
or
Crazy.
Delta?
Swear to God. It was probably like Spirit.
On
but
a
still.
bird?
For when?
On a bird. I swear to God, in the summer. I swear to God, I looked it up.
Last
ATL
summer or
to-
this summer?
Like this, when like COVID was really hitting.
Oh, so last summer.
Yeah.
Because no one
Oh.
was flying.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
what I'm saying,
Jared
but-
was saying
Yeah.
prices are ridiculous right now for this upcoming
Right now.
summer.
Oh,
Right now
I
they're-
was talking about like the lowest ones
No.
that I saw.
No. Because I flew when I came down to Georgia the other week. I mean, we flew for like $50 to $100 a person. I was gonna come down in April, and it's already like up to fucking like $200-300 a person. So they're
Right, it's
they're realizing these airlines aren't stupid. They know what's gonna happen this summer.
Oh yeah,
they know
it's gonna
go
be
nuts.
a damn party everywhere.
Yeah. Same with restaurants. You've had all these social distancing measures, and you can't be at full capacity. They're gonna explode. Restaurants are gonna explode.
Yeah.
Things like DoorDash and stuff are probably gonna. Actually, I mean, people are gonna go out.
I don't know.
People are gonna go out. You know, they're not gonna want to ship it to their home.
But I just wanted to. There's a lot of upside for these value companies that I have written, especially especially when I'm referencing price to earnings ratios. So the average price, according to Barron's, I didn't know this. I thought this was crazy. According to Barron's, the average PE ratio in the S&P 500 is 45. Morgan Stanley, 13. General Motors, 13. Goldman Sachs, 14. Bank of America, 20. JP Morgan, 17. Citigroup, 15.
Oh, you're saying all
mean-
these value stocks are way lower than what the average is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
way lower. That's why there's so much upside.
And price to earnings, isn't it just the price you pay for what you earn off of owning that?
Price to earnings is their earnings divided by all of the shares outstanding. That's the PE ratio.
Yeah, just one.
Wait. Hold on. Fuck me. That's EPS. That's earnings per share. PE ratio is the
Price you
price divided by the earnings per share. Yeah.
pay. Yeah.
Yeah. And for some of these growth stocks, Roku doesn't have one because they're not profitable.
Right. I was looking
Tesla's,
at like Love and stuff, like Southwest. God damn, the doors.
you know, right?
Yeah, I was looking at like all the airlines, and they don't even have one because they're not profitable right now.
Yeah, because they got
Yeah.
got destroyed
Yeah.
last
But
year.
it was just interesting to see that it was like a big red X, like not.
Yeah, because
existent.
you can't calculate it because they don't have any earnings.
Right. Just kind of.
But you can
interesting to
look.
see
This is like a one-off financial result. Like, this isn't gonna stick.
that. What do you mean this?
Like, that's like they're like Southwest, or one of them has Boeing is like negative $20-something a share. Like, that's not gonna stick. These airlines they're gonna become profitable again. It's just a matter of time. It's just this one-off thing where nobody was allowed to travel
Yeah.
really impacted their stuff.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll do. Donkey.
Going to value.
Yes, sir.
It's a transition, baby.
Yep, great transition.
Yeah,
I'll be
we're good,
80,
right?
still swearing by Neo.
All right, get us out.
Will do. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, subscribe and leave us a like if you really enjoyed the episode. It really helps us out. Don't forget to tap the notification bell as well so you get push notifications straight to your phone when we upload. If you're listening on audio, follow us on Spotify and give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. It lets us know you're listening, and we really appreciate it. Finally, if you want to chat with us, you want to ask us questions, start a discussion, we're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and we have a Discord server so you can hop on, ask us questions, and talk with us. We'd love to chat with you. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoy the episode. We'll talk to you later.